Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So, I had a couple of messages in the last month, all of which asking me to do a video in Welsh. And as much as I liked the idea, I thought it would put some of my regular viewers off a little bit. And I happened to be having a day off today, so I went into town and I had a nice bit of lunch and went into a bookshop, which is my usual thing on a day off, to relax. And I came across this. Now, what's special about it is this is a really, really good quality atlas, like way better than the ones that I've been using. And it's in Welsh. I managed to find one. I looked to see if there was an English language equivalent, and there wasn't. So, yeah, Welsh speakers are lucky. They've got such a high quality book. So on that note, I thought I would do a little flick through, and I can say some of the stuff in Welsh if you want me to as well, as I just explore the world and either try to teach you something new or just relax you, help you fall asleep, as this is an ASMR video after all. So this book is by Collins, a really big book publishing company in the UK, and in association with the exam board KOFI or WJC, whichever view they're called as well, which is the Welsh Joint Education Committee or something like that, and it's probably the same in Welsh. And yeah, Atlas Ubyd, Atlas Ubyd. So in Welsh, the letter Y is a vowel, as is the letter W. So you'll see lots of words today that look as if they've got no vowels in them, but they do, I swear. Atlas is pretty self-explanatory, but Ubyd is the one that needs explaining. So, Atlas of the World, World Atlas. Similar grammatically, weirdly, other than to other Celtic languages, this way of saying of the something, but just saying the atlas, the world, or we mean to say atlas of the world. This grammatical structure actually happens in Arabic and Hebrew and other Celtic languages like Irish, but not in any really other European languages. It's an odd feature of Celtic. So we've got all the different subsections. Let's look through that for a second. So we've got sgiliau darllen map, skills of reading a map, Gogledd America, North America, Ynysoedd y De Oceania, so islands of the south, or Oceania, y Deyrnas Unedig, United Kingdom, De America, South America, y Byd, the world, Africa, obviously. Notice in Welsh we have a double F because a single F is pronounced like a V because we don't have V. Europe, Asia, Ystadegau'r Byd, statistics of the world. I think Ystadegau is stats. So to tune you in to the Welsh language, I'll just read this like a little bit here. And you probably noticed that if you have picked up on my pronunciation of English, the funny thing is, Welsh, it sounds exactly the same, but you just won't understand what I'm saying. Because when I speak English, I speak with a Welsh accent, and when I speak Welsh, I speak with the same accent. Mathau o fapiau, Defnyddir llawer o fathau o fapiau yn yr atlas i ddangos mathau gwahanol o wybodaeth. Mae'r math o fap a'i symbolau a'i liwiau wedi dewis yn ofalus i ddangos thema pob map ac i'w gwneud yn hawdd ei ddeall. Mae esboniad o'r prif fathau o fapiau isod. Summarizing is just saying that they've chosen the colours very carefully to represent different things, and below is an explanation of all the different types of maps and the symbols and colours they use. Explaining different ways of drawing the map based on the fact that it's a circular object. Talking about the Eckert, the Forth, and the Lambert. Should we get into the nitty-gritty? So it says, Deyrnas Unedig, de ddwyrain Lloegr. So the United Kingdom, literally Kingdom United, South East England. So there you've got London, and then in brackets underneath the Welsh word for it, which is Llundain. Llundain. And you'll see the word for island a lot today, Ynys. Ynys Wyth is the name of this island. The Isle of Wight in English, so Wyth, because it's not white as in the colour white, it's a different spelling, isn't it? So Wyth in Welsh. And then we can see over here Wales, just trying to get into view. There she is. Our word for Wales is Cymru, which baffles some people because they don't understand that Y is pronounced like a. Think of an O with an umlaut over it in German or Turkish. Cymru. And it is a bit bizarre, but the letter U, particularly in South Wales where I'm from, is pronounced like an E, which is the exact same sound as the letter I. In the past it would have been pronounced differently, and in the north they kind of pronounce it a bit differently, like a E, like they do in certain accents of Swedish. E. But I say Cymru. Cymru. And then I was thinking about this video as I drove home from the bookshop, and I thought, how cruel is it that we gave England a name that they surely can't pronounce very easily, because we put this double L at the beginning, and this word is pronounced Lloegr. So that is like so hard for English people to pronounce. So you got the gr at the end with a rolling R, gr, and then to begin it you got this sound which apparently exists in Icelandic and I think Zulu or some other African language in South Africa. So Lloegr, Lloegr, and the OE is a diphthong which is pronounced oi, so Lloegr. So yeah, we're quite harsh giving you that word, sorry. And then north of Lloegr we have Yr Alban. Now sometimes we put the word for the, which is either a Y by itself, pronounced or if the word starts with a vowel, we have it with an R as well, so Yr Alban. And the word for Scotland in Scottish Gaelic is Alba, A-L-B-A. So we've sort of copied their word, Alban. And if we move over the sea, got Ynys Manaw, which is the Isle of Man. Again, this word Ynys, which I think in Gaelic is Inish, so it's very similar. And here we have Gogledd Iwerddon and Iwerddon. So, Iwerddon Island and Gogledd is the word for north. We, in the south, people who come from North Wales, because the word is called north, we call them Gogs, because they are from the Gogledd. I'm a Huntu, I'm from the south, but I don't know what that word means. And then you've got all of the islands in the north of Scotland here. So, Gogledd Harris, North Harris, De Harris, South Harris, Gogledd East and De East. Skye, which has got the same word. And then to the north you've got Ynysoedd, Orkney. So Ynys is the word for island, Ynysoedd is the plural, so islands of Orkney. Tir Mawr. This, I don't actually know whether it is in English or Celtic, whatever, however they label this, but in Welsh it means like big land or big earth. And then far north you've got the Ynysoedd, Shetland. We kept the same word. So with noting Aberdeen here, I said in a previous video that Aber is the word in Welsh for the estuary of a river. So the river that comes out here must be the Dee, no, I think it's the Don. Oh no, the Dee, okay. So yeah, the mouth of the river Dee, so it's Aber Dee. So Welsh would have been spoken as far north as this at one point. Môr y Gogledd, so we know the Gogledd is north, Môr is the sea, so the North Sea, Môr y Gogledd, Sea of the North. If you speak a Latin language, you'll associate this with maybe the word for sea in your language. So in Italian it's mare, in Spanish mar, in French mer. So yeah, it's related to Latin. I could take a whole video looking at this page, to be honest. It's fascinating. I was looking at it before pressing record, and I didn't realise the names that we have for all of the English counties, like Soith, Lincoln, Lincolnshire, and Soith, Caergrawnt, which is Cambridgeshire. I knew the word for Cambridge was Caergrawnt. Caint for, I guess that's Dover. And then Gwlad, my favourite, Gwlad yr Haf. Somerset, which in Welsh is the country of summer. Gwlad yr Haf. The word Shir means shire. Ah yes, the Ucheldir, the Highlands. Direct translation into Welsh. So it does quite a lot of extensive work over the UK. And then we go to Europe. Touristiaeth. Tourist? I don't understand why. Okay, I'll just pick out some of my favourite translations. Gwlad yr Iâr, the land of ice, just like in something from like Game of Thrones. So the land of ice, Iceland. And then you've got, so Denmark is the same, Sweden is the same, Norway, Finder, so the land of the Finns, Finder. Russia, Ukraine, Bulgaria, so the letter W is sort of an U sound, Bulgaria, Turkey, so the U, and then Öreidal is Italy, Öreidal. We also have got cool words for Greece, Groig, which again I think comes from Latin, Grec, in French. Frank is France, Spain, Portugal, and then we've got Almain, which I think we got through French because Allemagne in French. Gwlad Pwyl, the land of the pools, or the poles, yeah, the land of the poles. And then you've got Yr Iseldiroedd, the Low Countries for the Netherlands. And Gwlad Belg, the land of the Belge, for Belgium. Most stuff we didn't bother to translate, so Stockholm just stays the same, for example. København, we just left it alone. Some we just didn't even bother to change, so Russia with a W, but rather than Belarus with a W, we just left it as a U. So technically, if you're speaking Welsh, it should be Belarus, but we just didn't change them all. Oh, I forgot to do these two. Austria, obviously Austria. Oh, Hungary with another U sound. And Öster, the land tier of the Swiss. Again, tier for land might come from Latin, terra, not sure. They got Turkey. I've got a couple of subscribers from Georgia. We haven't changed your name. It's just Georgia. Azerbaijan, Armenia, Iran, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, More Caspia, the Caspian Sea. We use the proper old term for it, Caspia. More D, the Black Sea. D is black. More Azov, the Azov Sea. Crimea, and then underneath him it says Dan Wynaddiad, Russia, under the administration of Russia. So I've got one or two subscribers from Crimea. Moving on now into Asia. So we've got Mongolia there, China. There is an alternative spelling for China actually with a T. And for some reason we've jumped to America. Gogledd America, Gwleidda, I can't say it, Gwleidathol. Gwleidathol as in like the nations, the countries. So we seem to be keeping people's names. If we don't translate them, we don't always use the English by the looks of it, because we haven't said Greenland, we said Grönland, which is Danish. Grönland for Greenland. And this is Nuuk or Gotthub, which is again Danish. So Canada just keeps its spelling the same, although we do say it differently. What do you say, Canada? In English I say Canada, in Welsh I say Canada. So so a slightly different pronunciation. And then here we've got the Unol Daleithiau America. Yeah, Unol United Daleithiau States America. Of America, we don't say the of. I think all the places are the same except for New York, because York used to be the capital of England, so we have a name for that in Welsh. It's Efrog, with the one F, which is like a V. Efrog Newydd, so York New. Efrog Newydd. Curiously, we have a word for the Pacific. Cefn for Iwerydd. Pacific, excuse me, that's the Pacific. Oh wow, we've translated the Pacific. Cefn for Tawel. So, Pacific, pass as in like pace, peace, peaceful. We've called it the quiet ocean. The word for ocean is a bit weird in Welsh. I never even knew what that was before. Cefn for like the back of the sea. And we actually, in Welsh, shout out to my Irish neighbours here, we call the Atlantic the Irish Ocean. Iwerydd, because Iwerddon, or at least is a sort of variation of the word. Maybe I'm wrong. Welsh speakers, let me know. Is it related to Iwerddon for island? That would be cool if it were. And then we've got Mexico, Gulf Mexico, Cuba, Jamaica, de America, South America, Costa Rica, Panama. These are all the same. No differences here. Oh, we do translate one or two. Gogledd Carolina, North Carolina, de Carolina, South Carolina. And then South America is pretty safe as well. The only ones we really changed the spelling of Peru to Peru. And then we've got Brazil, the way that they spell it in Portuguese with an S. We don't have a Z in Welsh. And I talked about this in a previous video. Arianen is the word for Argentina, which comes from the word for silver. Arianen, Arian, is silver in Welsh. And it's argent in French. So that's where Argentine comes from, Argentina. Because it's where in Buenos Aires, where they used to get the silver. Rio de la Plata, the name of the river, means the river of silver in Spanish. La Plata is the town there. Silver, literally. Of course, it's worth pointing out that down here somewhere is the area of the only other country that speaks Welsh in the world is Argentina. So there's a Welsh town, Trelew, down here. Will it show us? Yeah, it does. So Trelew is there in Chubut province. Trelew. And that is a Welsh-speaking town in Argentina. I've met someone and it's fascinating. They spoke Welsh and Spanish and English. I've said this before, I think, but where in Welsh we code change a lot and we just drop random English words in when we're speaking, similar to Hindi speakers. And they do it too, but the words that they drop in are in Spanish. It's really weird to me as I speak both languages fluently. Spanish is my actual second language. Welsh is like my third. So yeah, I was listening to someone on the radio talk in their accent, dropping in Spanish words at random, and it like blew my brain. Apologies to my Moroccan subscribers who don't like it when they split it off to Western Sahara, Gorllawen Sahara, Morocco, spelled with only one R, one C. We have very easy spelling in Welsh. You just write the word. So yeah, sorry, I know you hate it. All the others are pretty straightforward. Our favourite country, Chad, with a T to make that ch sound, because CH in Welsh would be pronounced h normally. So to make it cha, we have to do a T, CH. And Egypt is Araift, and I don't know where that comes from. I'm trying to think. Egipto in Spanish. There's nothing. I don't know where the Araift. If anyone knows, please drop me that comment. I'd love to know. Gweriniaeth means republic. So we have a couple of Gweriniaeth. Gweriniaeth Democrataidd Congo and Gweriniaeth Canolbarth Africa. So it's the Central African Republic, and this is DR Congo. I always call it Dr. Congo. DR, the Democratic Republic of Congo. All of these are the same, except for D, Africa, South Africa. Yeah, interesting. More about the seas. More Canol Dir. It's the Mediterranean up here, and we call it the middle of the earth sea, which is what it translates as from Latin. Mediterraneo, middle of the sea, middle of the earth. Because the Romans thought that they were the centre of the earth. Which is a common theme, because the word China in Chinese means the middle country, the one in the middle of the world. Got the Middle East here. So after arrived, we have Gwlad Jordonen, the Jordan, land of the Jordans, and then Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman, Emiratai Arabaidd Unedig, the UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Iran, Afghanistan. Israel is the same. Jerusalem with a W, Jerusalem. And then these are all the same. Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan. And then India is the same word as well. Myanmar, Vietnam. But we renamed Thailand to Gulad Thai, the land of the Thais, Thailand. Sri Lanka, I think all these are the same. Where's Bangladesh? Oh, sorry, in the middle of the page. Nepal, Bhutan, and China. We seem to have stopped spelling it weirdly. We seem to use CH again now. We used to do it with a T, CH like Chad, China, or T. S sometimes. What else have we got here? Taiwan is over here. Gogleth, Korea, North Korea, and D, Korea, South Korea. Although K doesn't actually exist. I would write that with a C personally, but they don't. And Japan. It's another one that we seem to have gone to the English spelling of, because I used to write that S-I-A, Japan. S-I to make a sh sound. Amor Melen, the Yellow Sea. Mor Doirain, China, the East China Sea. More Japan, more y Dwyrain, the Eastern Sea. And then the Philippines, we've got the proper name, Pilipinas. Yeah, back to the Pacific Ocean, the Gefn for Tawa. And then De Dwyrain Asia, in Southeast Asia, we've got Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, then we've got Indonesia sprawling across here, the Isle of Java there, Dwyrain Timor, or Timor-Leste, East Timor, just sticking its head up, say hello, good day, good Australia, and then Guinea there with New Guinea. Up here we've got Palau and Taleithiau Federal Micronesia. Some info about Japan. This is interesting. Prif Partneriaid Masnachi, major trading partners. China is number 1, and the USA. Oh no, these are going out. Munforion, so these are imports. Alforion are exports. So the USA is their major exporter. Are we on there? No, UK isn't on there. Germany is. And then imports. Yeah, the US are there second, and Australia are third. Saudi Arabia are fourth, weirdly. And then lastly, Australia and Zeeland Newydd. Remember I said there's no Z in Welsh. Zeeland Newydd, New Zealand. More Tasman, the Tasmanian Sea. And then all these little islands here, Kiribati, Tuvalu, Vanuatu, Papua New Guinea, Guinea Newydd, Samoa, Tonga, Fiji. Nice view of Australia there. My Aussies watching. We do have names for your states. Gorllewin, Australia, Western Australia. Tiriogaeth y Gogledd, the Northern Territories. De Australia, Southern Australia. Queensland stays the same. We could have renamed Tir or Goron or something. We could have called that, but okay. De Cymru Newydd, New South Wales, definitely had a name for that. And then it says clearly Canberra. It says clearly, but I can't read it. Tiriogaeth Prif Ddinas Australia. So the capital of Australia. Because everyone obviously thinks it's Sydney. I really hope you enjoyed the video and me chatting away in Welsh. A little bit here, a little bit there. It's such a good atlas, I will revisit it and confuse new subscribers no end, but why they can't understand the words. If you enjoyed the video, click like for me and drop a comment with anything you noticed, answering any questions I posed during the video. But otherwise, I hope you're nice and relaxed, and I'll see you again really soon, okay? Take care. Bye.